What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys have seen the last video, we buttoned up this wagon, and today we're going to be pushing this off the driveway, or driving it off the driveway, and we're going to work a little bit on the KRX. Now, I was trying to get this car scheduled to tune ASAP, which is today, Saturday, and there is a dyno session going on, but the day has already been filled. My tuner, when he does remote tune, he's only available Saturdays because he has to make sure that his partner in the shop is available Saturdays. Granted, he is in Hawaii, and when he's available, they make the schedule accordingly, and there's so many people out here that are waiting for him to tune their cars that it gets filled up really quickly. So I hit up my tuner last night and asked him for availability to get this wagon on the dyno. The only thing we need to do left is throw the DSM 450 injectors and then get it programmed with Prum, and then just let it go on the dyno and see what it does. But in the meantime, this car is practically almost done. I threw the bumper on just to get it out of the garage, and we still need to do the power steering stuff, and then this car should be ready after the tune to be sold. Today I want to work on the KRX with the exhaust noise and the passenger side vibration. So I'm just going to get right to it. I'm going to go ahead and put this car down and move it out. I'm just going to throw in a stock P72 just to move the car. We know it works as OBD1 because in the last video we did the S300 with the base map and everything works. Oh yeah, dead battery. Oh, it still works. That's awesome. Ah, man, whatever bearing that noise is, it is annoying. Super quiet. That's how much I love this. But I can't get attached. Dana, do not get attached. This is a perfect daily commuter. Grocery getter. So this right here is a 3-inch vibrant bottleneck style stainless resonator, 3-inch, and it is 12 inches overall. I'm adding a second resonator to the exhaust system of the CRX because it is kind of loud. I did swap out the ultra quiet resonator for a, I believe it was like a 24-inch bottleneck resonator, and it didn't change the tone much. Also, the exhaust system is one freaking piece, so I have to take off the LCA every time I modified the exhaust system because there is no flange. So I'm adding a V-band to it so I don't have to remove the LCA every single time. Shout out to B&R Fitting for this 3-inch stainless V-band, female male style flanges. So this and this guy is going to the car, 1, to ease of removal, and 2, hopefully tone the car down. Now, I could have gotten a twister because I know a twister really quiets an exhaust down. I didn't think about it. Now I'm not using the ultra quiet resonator in place of this guy because the other one is fat and oval. It could have fit under there. I didn't want to chance the resonator like bouncing around and making a lot of ting ting noises, so I got a slimmer one. So make sure that this is a true 12 inches. The flange itself is 1.5, 12 inches, 13.5. Let's go under the car. I was watching garage built Hondas, and they did a eBay modified exhaust system on one of their buddy CRX, and they used a vibrant box with a bottleneck resonator, also leaving the eBay resonator in place. They placed their bottleneck resonator right here, and for them it seems to work because it did a before and after clip, and the second resonator definitely toned it down. So I'm looking at it right here. I'm cutting it really close. So the bend for the rear, if you look at it, I'm looking for a straight section. It's going to start somewhere right there, and this guy in the back, the straight is going to start somewhere here-ish. With the measuring tape, we need 13.5 inches. We're looking at about 12.5 right there where that mark is at, 12.5-ish. So it looks like we're gonna have to trim the bottleneck a little bit because there is a lot of lip on it. We have like 2 inches on the top, 2 inches on the bottom, so we can trim that away to get the overall height of the resonator and V-band down to a 12.5 or further. Lost a lot of daylight again. I was on my phone with my buddy Sam from RevMatch. He moved all the way to Vegas, and he had a similar issue with his K-Swap DB8, and he was telling me the things that he did to get rid of the noise. Now, he did actually a lot of things to get rid of the noise. Wheel spacers, because the wheel was rubbing, the dust ring inside the knuckle to the axle. He swapped the axle, he swapped the circlip on the half shaft, the bearing in the half shaft. There was a lot that he did, but his noise vibration is gone, which is the same that I currently have with this car. Now I'm going to tinker with it tomorrow. I kind of have a general idea because of everything that he's done, and I'm going to do it one step at a time to see if the vibration would go away. So I got the exhaust cut up right here and right there. The piece, this guy right here, is what we're going to be replacing with the resonator. And I mean, I cut it a little too much, but we have a lot of play anyways to, you know, give or take. But I have this guy all prepped already, ready to tack the resonator on, and then you know, we'll do the other half. But I noticed that because this is on the crushed bent, well, this is not crushed, this is mandreled, but not all mandrel bend is still truly the inner diameter. So right here you can see it's kind of ovaled, and on the top it's freaking ovaled out as well too. So I'm gonna have to kind of like massage this guy to fit the diameter of the resonator. You can see the ends right here where I cut off. Show you guys. It's a huge gap. Probably take a hammer to it or a vice grip. See if I can get this oval to be circular. I don't think this is a full 3, because this thing just slips right over, literally. Just has some crazy nonsense going on right now. So you guys know I live in a dead end, right? A dead end, no through street. And I've been here for a very long time, so we've dealt with a lot of, like, you know, people who smashed through here, homeless, stolen vehicles, a lot of things, altercations and things like that. So just a little while ago, had a car come down from the block so fast that I heard it come down the block super fast, probably 40-50 miles an hour, right? My brothers, friends, my brother-in-law and stuff were chilling right there, you know, where Zach's truck is at. And this guy blows down super fast, missed our dog Alvin by less than a foot, and my nephew about less than a foot. So we were like, oh, you know, this guy's gonna turn around, he's gonna book it. And so we went to go kind of surround the car. The guy gets out super aggressively, as far as they said, super aggressively. Is why everybody got hostile about it. And granted, so many experiences here before, you know how it goes down. So had a fat altercation going on. Dude apologizes and stuff like that. He takes off. You know, it's one thing to speed in the neighborhood, and 2, drinking while driving, and 3, almost taking 2 lives. That doesn't fly here. So, you know, nothing bad happened. He apologized, brother cooled down, he accepted the apology, let the dude and his girl be on his way. He was flying because he was arguing with his girlfriend. He was trying to find a place to pull over so they can argue it out, and he just pulled into the wrong neighborhood. So yeah, back to what I was doing. I just tacked the other flange to the exhaust right there, and I did 1, 2, 3, 4 in the back just to hold it in place. I'm going to crawl. It's getting really cold, but I'm gonna crawl underneath the car, and I'm gonna fit this guy back up. I'm gonna fit that guy back up, make sure my flanges are straight to where, you know, they mate accordingly, and the V-band flange goes on and the exhaust is not pointed all weird, because if it does, I can break the tack off, adjust the flange, and clock the exhaust where it needs to go, and then, you know, keep doing the process until it points correctly. Hopefully it's just the first shot, and if it looks good, I'm going to clean up, just weld whatever I can tonight, and we'll continue tomorrow when we have some heat and some daylight. I think this is the perfect season weather now to get my propane tank filled up, so that way we can still be here in the garage when it's super cold out. All right, the back side of the exhaust looks like it's pointing where I need it to be. Pretty nice and straight as far as the box goes, because I like my stuff to be symmetrical, centered, you know what I mean. And over here we have the V-band flange in place, the resonator. This right here is hung up with the hangers, not bolted to the exhaust. We have enough play to close that gap, right? No big deal, but it's not hitting anything, so that's good. Once it's bolted to the header, it should be more firm. And now that we are confirmed, this guy is tightened all the way. We are confirmed. Now I'm gonna pull it back off and weld everything I can. Alright guys, so last night I got the V-band clamps and the resonator fully welded up, so check it out. Not too shabby. Granted, the mandrel bend piping, this is a true Benz exhaust, and that's aluminized mild steel, so I had to do a lot of prep work to get all of that coating off so we could weld it to the stainless using 309. I believe it's 309. Actually, I'm using Harbor Freight wire right here. T304 stainless steel. So I got this all finished up last night, and I decided I didn't want to just crawl underneath the cold concrete to get it in there. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and get the exhaust put back into the car so we can move towards the front half to figure out why the car is vibrating. So this guy back in the car now, like magic. So the exhaust is back up, V-band is on, flanged to the header. Kind of want to turn this car on right now to see how it sounds like before we put the wheels and stuff back on after sorting out the front. So let's see how it sounds. Now, because I did cut the pipe a little more than I measured, this kind of sucked in a little bit more. When I get some more 3-inch material, I'll probably extend that, but I'm not worried about it right now. That shit sounds the same. Not only we didn't achieve a quieter exhaust system, but we gained exhaust chassis vibration. If you guys have seen the video of this car making an attempt to go to Thunderhill racetrack, I didn't race it for 2 reasons. 1, health issue. 2, crazy vibration on the passenger side. And everything, like I said, is super tight. Rudy double checked everything at his house. Everything is secured into place. But once he went underneath the car and tugged on the half shaft, we get this thing. So the intermediate shaft bearing could be bad. I went to Honda a couple of days ago and I bought the bearing that the intermediate shaft uses, and I'm gonna try to swap it out. My buddy Sam called me and said he swapped his out, kind of sort of did it, probably maybe fix his issue. Granted, he did a lot of stuff in between, so he didn't know what exactly was causing his vibration, but you guys obviously saw the half shaft axle itself is making noise. I'm using base model RSX 32mm axles, and that's the same one that I'm using in this car. No issues in that car. I doubt it's the axle. So the half shaft, I'm gonna swap the bearing out because this engine came out of the junkyard from a rolled over RSX. Maybe the passenger side spindle knuckle took a huge impact that could have messed up the bearing. Let's find out. I hope you guys can see this, and I pray that this is my issue. So if I'm holding this carrier housing down, I mean, granted there's rubber like dampening right here inside this race, but it has a lot of play if you look at it really closely, right? I mean, not 100% sure, but I already got the bearing, so I'm gonna change it out. I don't know if you guys can see this, but the inner race has a lot of play in it. You guys saw I was trying to take off the circlip, the C-clip, and this thing looks like it was pressured out the opposite direction where it was pressurizing the clip, and I couldn't compress it to take it off, so I had to hammer it down to relieve the pressure and remove the clip to remove this guy. The OEM one, this is from Honda, 91057-SR3-008. It's the same part number for Acura, and this is the new bearing, which has no play whatsoever. It's really firm on here, and the bearing itself, like the two-piece, is how do you say it? It's like you can feel it doesn't spin freely. It's like friction. While this one, I mean, I can spin this thing easily, and the fact that it has a lot of play on it. So I'm going to reverse the whole process, guys. I'm going to press this in using this guy to guide it down without messing up this inner race, and you know, do all the circlips and all that, put it all back together, get it back in the car so we can get the car back on the ground. Before I slap the wheel back onto the car, check this out. It moves a little bit. Granted, there's a rubber, like I said, there's a rubber dampener on the half shaft, but it's more firmer. So, crossing fingers. So I'm just driving it right now down the street, about to hit the freeway, and I do notice that the tone has toned down a little bit. It's still a little deep and loud, but not as loud as before, so that's good. About to jump on the freeway with the right turn to see if this vibration is still there. I didn't really feel it there. Oh no, it's still there. As soon as I start making a right turn, I'll feel it. Watch. It's pretty bad. Well, it was worth a shot. We swapped the bearing on the half shaft. Did not fix the vibration issue. We did another resonator on the exhaust system, and it barely toned it down. Definitely noticeable when I'm cruising on the freeway, but you know, when I'm going through the gears on the inside street or whatever the case is, low RPM, it's still pretty loud. Now granted, I do have a full 3-inch exhaust system, and you know, it's all motor. It's going to be loud, but another solution, the last solution that I have to make this thing kind of quieter, is buy a different muffler, which I don't want to, but the wagon has a thermal R&D exhaust system, and this car was pretty quiet when it was all motor, full 3-inch. Granted, this car doesn't go anywhere and it's turboed. I figured, you know what, if this wasn't going to work, I would pull the Vibrant Street Power muffler off of this KRX, slap it in this car. It's gonna sit, it's gonna be quiet anyways because of the turbo. I know, because that car's full 3 with the same exhaust system. If I was to put it in here, it should be quiet. The thermal should be really quiet in this car, and like I said, that's the last resort, but it doesn't bother me. I just don't want it to be super loud when I'm driving, say at night, or if I want to go spiritual driving. I don't want to be too loud in third gear in the mountains or whatever the case may be, but we'll take care of that another day. One thing Sam told me was, after all the fix and everything he did at once, he said the bearing did help a little bit, but it was still, you know, violently shaking on the passenger side. He said somebody mentioned that the wheel was rubbing on the inside wheel well. I inspected mine, doesn't seem like it was rubbing anywhere, but what Sam did was he put 5mm spacers in the front of his car, and the vibration completely went away. So I am probably going to be swapping wheels out tomorrow. Storage should be closing in a minute here, but I'm probably going to swap my wheels out tomorrow to my ITRs. And one, they are 195s, these are 215. Two, I want to salvage these tires for the track. I don't want to waste it driving on the street. Three, it's been raining off and on, and these tires are not practical for the rain. So for my safety, I'm gonna swap the other wheels on and just kind of roll on those and keep these tires for the track. I am gonna wrap the video right here, guys. I'm trying to get this wagon to the dyno ASAP so we can get some footage of that, get it all cleaned up, and get it ready to be sold. We'll take care of all the stuff for the KRX another day. It still runs and drives, it's perfectly fine, other than the vibration, which, like I said, I'll take care of tomorrow. But if you guys enjoyed today's video on the KRX, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for all the other things to come here real soon, I don't know what order it's going to go in, but expect it. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.